Thank you for tuning in to That Encounter with our future guest, Pastor Cornelius Hill.
Cool. So how long you been a pastor?
I've been in pastoral ministry for 20 years.
20 years? Okay. So you probably had a lot of encounters with God, would you say?
Several encounters with God.
So what's one that sticks out to you, that one that was like life-changing? Or not even life-changing, but where you knew God was really real?
Well, it started before I began my pastoral ministry. I was a 10th grader in high school. I have a scar on my head. It's where I, quote unquote, I call it my Damascus Road experience, where I knew God was real and I actually heard the voice of God for the first time. I had a major car wreck on December 22nd, and I thought I was going to die. And I ran into a preacher at the hospital, and he thought I was going to die. And I told God I was ready to die, but I heard God's voice inside of me saying, I have work for you to do. That was my first encounter, and I knew it was God at that moment because it was a voice I never heard. It was a voice that was peaceful and settling, and I just knew I had an assurance that was that voice. That was my encounter at 15, December 24th, Vanderbilt Hospital.
Is that when you kind of started getting into more in the church, or was you already in the church already?
I'm a church child, 4 generations. Great grandmama, my mama being, now my daughter 5. So I've always been in church, but having that love and compassion for His Word and just having a desire to grow with Him, that was a defining moment in my life. And with that defining moment, it became, a process of change that I was not ready to embrace at the time.
So you had that encounter, but you still was like,
come on, man. 1992, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ghetto Boys. I had so many other outlets that was pulling on me and had my attention. So, I was going to shake it, as the kids say, shake life, 2000.
Did you shake life?
Oh, I shook life. This is why I got,
Hold on. So rock with me. So, I'm just going off your story. Yeah. 15, this happened. Okay, the scar across your head.
I was 15, yes, sir.
So you was shaking life at 15, or you shook life after the scar?
Oh, I was shaking life before that.
Before?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, since we're being honest and there has to be a level of transparency, the night of my accident, we had just stole some Dickie jeans. And back in the day, that's when everybody was rocking the Dickie jeans. We had just stole some Dickie jeans. We had just bought some Wild Hours Rose, some Boone's Farm, and some Budweiser. So we were shaking life, like shaking life. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be in Nashville staying with my uncle, but earlier that week, I got caught drinking in my house, and my mama told me I had to come back from the bath. We were playing Glen, so I had to come back home. That's what happened. Yeah, I was shaking life.
So that's what made that. That's what kind of made that.
Oh yes.
That so significant because you was doing your thing and then you had that.
Of course.
Okay, cool. So when that happened, after that happened, and he talked to you, was you like, I'm sold out, or was you still?
It took me several years to become comfortable with that moment, because I wrestled with the fact that for years I've always heard about it but never experienced it.
Experienced what? What we talking
that
about?
Moment, that encounter.
Yeah.
And it was like, what do I do now with this? And I do not even have the support in place mentally to make that change and try to live for God, like at that level that I thought I had to live for God. So being totally sold out, I hadn't really bought into the fact that God had work for me to do. Hadn't bought in, and I was ready to still live my life. Black Beach, Freak Me. Come on, man. This is the 90s. We talking about the A Splash in Houston. We talking about.
I can imagine even when you going down memory lane, I see your face, and I get it. What I mean? But I can imagine you having this encounter at 15. And then you still living your life, doing your thing, but you didn't already had this encounter with God that can be tormenting. I'm guessing in my head, that you had this, that you already knew what was said, and you still out here shaking it. You know what I mean?
It's a pull, and then not having having a good foundation biblically to understand that my flesh, my lust, my passions is just a part of life.
Right.
And I hadn't had the patience or hadn't had the pedagogy in front of me to teach me through these hard avenues. We're talking about 15, a boy is becoming a man. Just stuff is happening naturally.
Right.
So we still talking about apples and Adam and Eve and snakes. We're not really dealing with passion and lust at its roots and how it has affected so many lives and how we've sugarcoated the real. So, and then listen to the music that I was listening to, woke up every day listening to Eazy-E, woke up every day listening to Too Short. And you know what Too Short had to say? Too Short was my teacher. He was my mentor. So having that music that was influencing me was always a struggle, balancing what I was doing with what I needed to do. And that encounter was right there. So like getting comfortable with the voice of God. So because if God speaks to me this time, he'll speak to me another time.
Yeah.
And he'll speak to me another time. And it's like, okay, God, now that I've heard your voice once, I know I'm going to hear it again. So it's just amazing how that happened to me as a teenager. But I still didn't get right now.
Yeah. But that was that moment.
That was that moment. This is before, you know, and I got home. Actually, I stayed in the hospital 7 days because I was young and I was recuperating. I got home and I heard another voice from God. God, it's like, it's time for you to preach. I'm like, preach? Well, I wait till I get home. Because all the preachers in front of me were old men. There were no boy preachers. So I wasn't about to preach. Not yet.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out to give us your encounter. One of the first encounters, significant ones of your life. Anything that you would like to say if you was talking to the younger you out there about encounters and...
Yeah, one thing I want to say that God he's a very omnipotent, omniscient, loving God. He's a very personable God. And he wants to have that encounter with you early in your life. So allow yourself the opportunity just to listen and hear the voice of God. Peace and be blessed.
Appreciate it, brother.
I wasn't big.
Thank you for watching That Encounter, and subscribe for more episodes coming soon.